Welcome back to another episode of Cheapskate Garage. Today, I'm working on a Mazda 3. It's my daily. Threw a check battery light earlier today, then it went off, so I'm thinking it's the alternator. The alternator's going bad on it. Currently, when it's running, it's showing 14.5 volts on the voltmeter. I don't have an amperage tester, unfortunately, but it is what it is. So the first step is, you got to get this belly pan off. And it's held in by 10mm bolts. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The reason why you got to take it off is because the alternator will not come through the top side of the motor. And actually, once you get that off, there's 3 bolts holding this thing in. 1 on the top side and 2 on the bottom. So we're going to go find, it looks like a 13mm. We're going to get a 13mm ratchet. So I lied. Step 2 is you want to get a 14mm on your power steering pulley right here. Rotate that forward because that's the tensioner and pop off the belt. So I was going to take my wrench and put it on there, but you can see that's what, a 16-point wrench, and this nut down here, or bolt, it's starting to get stripped. So I grabbed my 6-point, and on these you got to be careful with them because if I turn it lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, this is a reverse threaded bolt on here, so you'll actually be taking off this pulley, and that's not what you want to do. So I want to go to the left to actually turn the tensioner down to loosen up the belt and get the belt out of the way of the alternator. And that's simple. You just simply push, you hold, watch your fingers, don't get them pinched. And the belt comes right off. Just like that. And you don't need to take it all the way off, just part of the way off. So if you look down here, we got 1 bolt right there. We can come down here, get our belt out of the way, let that hang. That's 1 bolt, and then on the back side and underneath you'll see the other 2 bolts, and this thing should come right out. So we got our 12mm wrench down here. You just want to give this a quick turn and it should break free. Sometimes you could put a wrench on it, give yourself a little extra leverage to free it up. Dang, that one's in there tight. Let me grab a 12mm socket. I guess my flexo head wrench is going to be my savior on this job. Normally I don't like to use it because it flexes always flexes at the wrong time. There we go, that wasn't that tight. And I dropped that one. Par for the course. So here we are, we're on the underside. We got a bolt here, and I was kidding. There's actually a bolt way up here. So there's 3, and you got one right there. And I just remembered we're dealing with power right now, so let's go ahead and unplug disconnect the negative on our battery cable. And this is a 10mm as well. Just loosen it up and pull it off. Put it out of the way. No more hotness in the battery. So now we can start cracking all of our bolts loose. Don't take them out yet though. Remember, you got 3 on the bottom here. It looks like one's going to be shorter than the other 2. Doesn't matter which bolt goes where when they put it back together. So now that you got those loose, come over here. And I bet that's going to be a 13 or a 14. Oh, nope, it's a 12. Go ahead and take off. Loosen up your power wire on your starter. That one can completely come off. Now what's holding it on there? Oh, it's got little clips on it, so it's just kind of a little bit of a struggle. I've never seen this before, so even I learned something new. Okay. Yeah, it's got retainers, 3 of them. One there, there, and there. And it clips onto the back side of this right here. So once you get that off, then you can go up, get you up in there. You got your other wiring harness that you got to get out of the way. And there's going to be some way that disconnects. I'll show you when I get there. So the hard part about doing projects all the time and having multiple vehicles that you're working on, because right now, if you're up in tune with the channel, you know I'm working on the Jimmy. Your tools are all over the place. I just spent 7 minutes looking for my larger-than-life long-nose pliers for this car. And if you don't have a pair, I recommend you get a pair. But I got tools all over the place all the time because the projects just keep on coming. But let's get back to the Mazda. So the next thing you want to do is just take this alternator and flip it up on its side, so that way you can get to this plug better without yanking it all out. And it looks like you got to squeeze it on both sides. That makes it real nice when you don't have that nice little tool. I'm going to find a pair of channel locks or something maybe I can get in there with. Gaze into my alternator of death. No, I'm just kidding. But we got that out. As you can see, I kind of mauled that plug getting it out because I didn't know exactly how it came out, but it's out and that's all that matters. It's just push in on that and pull out. It's kind of at an odd angle up there. And I think while we're down here, we're going to address this slight oil drip and put on the very best filter possible. So as what you guys really didn't see is I really know how to work on cars, especially change oil. I emptied the oil pan in the car first, and that was about empty, and then I went to get the oil filter, which is right up there, and it just started going everywhere. So I made a mess that you guys can see that you're going to pretend that you didn't see. Pretend like I actually know what I'm doing. So real quick here, this is the smart way. Put the pan under it, then crack it loose. And I got the pan under the back side to catch the remaining drips of the drain plug. And I need a new crush washer for the drain plug, that's why there's all that oil right there. And it was loose. Alright, now we're going to get parts. One more tip. When you got a really cool wife and you got to go to the auto parts store, don't take her down in the Suburbicon with greasy hands like this. I mean, look at that beast. It's like brand new. Let's just oil up her seat for her and make her slide out. No, we'll get the keys to the truck and take the truck. So these are the bolts that hold the belly pan on. They're starting to rust and rot away. If you want to preserve these bolts, is what you do. Put a little bit of anti-seize on them. Right there. a little dab of that. It'll help keep them lubricated. Obviously, the belly pan has to come on and off the car quite a few times anytime you want to change the oil, pretty much, because changing the oil with it on in this car is a nightmare. If you've done it, you know. But yeah, little INICs will make your life a lot easier in the future. And I got some helping hands right there putting on the NICs. I told her I wouldn't film her, but too bad.
Yeah.
She's teaching Wyatt already how to do that. Be a mechanic. Well, we get the wrench up here on this. When you're tightening down these bolts, you don't need to torque them. You just need to get them good and snug. Auto manufacturers these days, they put a torque value for everything that you do. If you wrench enough, your arm becomes a torque wrench and you kind of get the feel of what's tight and what's not. So you can see I'm getting close to running down the bolt there. And we're there. So I'm tight. I just go, and then you can kind of feel it seat. And that is tight enough. And you got to remember, I'm using a 12-inch wrench, so that's a foot. Every time I turn it and I put pressure on it, that's a foot-pound. So we're going to come back and get this one. Snugging that one up. I think I already got the top, but we're going to double check it because I don't want to come back here and have to fix this. And yep, we got that one. So I really cared about the car, so I upgraded the filter to a micro guard by, I believe it's Wix. I hear everybody tell me that they're better than a Fram, so we're gonna give it a try. So we got to plug in the alternator now, do the last bolt, serpentine belt, put the battery on, and the belly pan on, and we are good to go. I think the rest is pretty self-explanatory. It's just all the steps backwards. Thanks for watching, guys. You have a great night. So, since I was asked about it again, you want to take this, push it forward. You want to bring it around, back around your alternator, and get it lined up as best as you can, and then bring it back around underneath your idler pulley, and just little by little you can get it on there. Check it out, make sure it's all good and lined up, and then relieve your tension on your pulley, and then feel down in there, get in there with a flashlight and make sure that it's around the crank like it should be. On this model there's a separate belt for the AC compressor, so you don't have to worry about it. It actually keeps the belt from coming off. And if you ever want to replace the belt on this car, you're going to have to take off the AC compressor belt first. So that's just fun. But other than that, that's a wrap. We're going to take the car off the jacks, finish filling it up full of oil, and it should run just fine. Thanks for watching, guys.